You come into the world as a drifting speck, almost invisible in the vast blue expanse. You are not born in a cozy nest or a mother's warm embrace. Instead, you begin life as a free-swimming larva, suspended among billions of other creatures in the ocean's plankton soup. To the naked eye, you are little more than a speck of jelly. Yet within you lies the blueprint of a formidable creature, a sea anemone, a living paradox of softness and strength. Already, danger surrounds you. Fish sweep by with gaping mouths, filter feeders gulp without noticing, and currents toss you like a leaf in a storm. You have no sharp teeth, no speed, and no protective shell. What you have is instinct and patience. Your earliest mission is clear: find a place to settle. Once you attach to rock, coral, or shell, you will root yourself and transform into a polyp. It will be your permanent home, and survival will depend on how wisely you choose. The ocean has welcomed you, yet it also dares you to endure. You finally find a surface that feels right. It is rough, stable, kissed by the sunlit currents, yet not too exposed. You sink your tiny body onto it, and with a remarkable transformation, you glue yourself in place. This is the moment of no return. You are now sessile, anchored for life, and the drifting days are behind you. At first you are small and fragile, a pale bud with just the beginnings of tentacles. These tentacles unfurl like tiny ribbons, delicate yet armed with stinging cells called cytocytes. They are your weapons, and they work automatically. Even now, though you are new to this life, your tentacles can discharge harpoons tipped with venom, stunning whatever minuscule creature dares to touch you. You do not need practice or lessons. The skill is built into your very tissues. Food drifts close, planktonic morsels carried by the current. You are not a hunter in the traditional sense. You do not chase, you wait. When a tiny crustacean brushes against you, the tentacle reacts faster than thought. The prey is immobilized, drawn toward your central mouth, and swallowed whole. From the very beginning, your survival depends not on speed, but on patience and touch. Threats loom constantly. A grazing fish could nip you off the rock. A larger invertebrate could overshadow you and steal your sunlight. Even your neighbors can be hostile. Sea anemones are known to engage in slow, silent battles, stinging rivals with specialized tentacles. You are defenseless against the pull of predators, yet armed against equals. It is a curious balance, vulnerable and dangerous at the same time. Day by day, your tentacles grow longer, your body fattens, and your presence becomes harder to ignore. Though you are a solitary creature, you begin to sense that survival is not only about fending off enemies, but also about finding unexpected allies. Somewhere, nearby, a clownfish may soon take notice. One day, a larger shadow passes over your tentacles. It is not a drifting speck of plankton this time, but a small juvenile shrimp. Your tentacles twitch, as if excited. You are still young, but instinct tells you this is an opportunity. The shrimp, busy scavenging, brushes against one of your arms. In that instant, your cytocytes fire. Each cell releases a coiled harpoon, penetrating the shrimp's delicate shell and injecting venom. It thrashes, but the more it struggles, the deeper your tentacles pull it inward. For a creature that cannot run, your strike is astonishingly swift. Your mouth, really just an opening at the center of your body, widens. The shrimp is guided into it, sliding past the folds of tissue and into your gastrovascular cavity. Here, digestive enzymes flood the prey, breaking it down into nutrients. You do not have a stomach in the human sense, but rather a shared cavity where both digestion and circulation occur. Nutrients are absorbed directly by your cells, feeding the tentacles that caught the meal and the base that anchors you. The process is slow and strangely satisfying. You cannot taste in the way humans do, but chemical signals flood your tissues, confirming the energy reward. What began as fear and resistance in your prey becomes fuel for your growth. There is humor in the awkwardness of it. Your body balloons slightly, tentacles wriggling as though celebrating, while the shrimp slowly disappears. You look almost comical, a soft bulb with wavy arms feasting on something that seemed much too large for your tiny mouth. This first true meal changes you. The nutrients allow your tissues to thicken, your tentacles to lengthen, and your venom to strengthen. You now understand what it means to feed, to conquer prey, not with speed, but with touch and poison. From this day on, you are no longer just surviving on microscopic scraps. You have tasted your first hunt. You have learned the thrill of feeding and the power of patience. In a world where nearly everything can eat you, it feels like a small but significant victory. Time moves differently for you. You do not scurry, run, or migrate. Instead, you expand. The shrimp and plankton you capture fuel your tissues, and slowly, your soft body begins to change. Your column, once slender and delicate, thickens into a sturdy stalk. Your tentacles, once no longer than eyelashes, now spread out like the rays of a small sun. Each tentacle bristles with thousands of psittacites, each armed and ready. They look soft, yet they are more dangerous than a row of daggers. You do not molt or shed like crabs, but you grow in subtler ways. Your tissues regenerate constantly. Tear a piece of your body and, given time, it can regrow. In fact, you hold a secret human's envy, a remarkable potential for regeneration. You might not feel pride, but this gift is your insurance policy against injury. As you grow, you become more noticeable. Small fish, once unbothered, now circle cautiously. Some try to nip your tentacles, learning too late about your venom. You are not invincible, though. Larger predators like sea stars or certain snails can overwhelm you, prying at your body with patience equal to your own. To face them, you rely on endurance. Sometimes you shrink, contracting into a tight ball, hiding your vulnerable parts. Other times, you extend fully, daring them to come closer. Growth also reveals competition. Other sea anemones nearby extend special acrohagi, fierce fighting tentacles designed not for prey, but for rivals. They sting and burn, forcing one of you to retreat. Territory is not just for fish or mammals. Even you, rooted to the rock, must defend your space. You may not roar or bare teeth, but your venom speaks louder than sound. With each passing tide, you become more established. You are no longer a fragile polyp. You are a blooming sea anemone, a creature that balances fragility and menace, beauty and brutality. And as you grow, so does the possibility of something unexpected: partnership. A small orange-striped fish begins to dart near your tentacles. The stage is set for one of nature's most unusual friendships. The ocean is generous, but it can also be cruel. A week of turbulent currents sweeps much of the plankton away, and prey becomes scarce. Your tentacles wave tirelessly, but little comes within reach. Hunger gnaws at your tissues, though you do not have a brain to articulate the discomfort. Instead, your body slows. Metabolism drops. Movements become minimal. You contract more often, conserving energy. Cells that once grew rapidly now conserve every molecule. You are living off reserves, a slow burn that cannot last forever. To make matters worse, a hungry butterfly fish approaches. Unlike most species, it is skilled at nipping sea anemones without succumbing fully to their venom. You feel sharp bites at your tentacles, a stinging reversal of roles where you are the prey. Some tentacles are lost, torn away like branches from a tree, yet you do not die. You retract into a shrunken form, an unassuming blob, letting the fish lose interest. Recovery is agonizingly slow. For days you remain contracted, conserving what little energy remains, but your regenerative powers quietly go to work. Cells multiply, wounds seal, and tentacles begin to regrow. When the currents finally shift and bring new plankton, you open once more. A small crustacean wanders near, and you seize it with the last of your strength. The meal revives you, one mouthful at a time. You do not celebrate, but survival itself feels like triumph. You have faced hunger and predation, and learned what it means to endure through weakness. The scars will heal, and the missing tentacles will regrow, yet the memory remains in your tissues. You are reminded that the ocean is both cradle and battlefield, and you are its reluctant warrior. Now you are in your prime. Your body stands tall on the rocky substrate, a fleshy column crowned with a circle of long flowing tentacles. You sway in the current like a flower, yet anyone who dares touch you learns that you are no gentle bloom. Your venom is potent, your reach wide, and your patience endless. With adulthood comes new challenges. Territory is precious. You cannot wander, so the few centimeters of rock beneath you are all you will ever claim. Other anemones test you, extending their acrorygi in silent combat. When their stinging filaments brush against you, pain surges through your tissues. You respond in kind, pressing your own specialized tentacles against them. The battle is slow but decisive. One will eventually retreat, leaving the winner to spread wider and stronger. Today you hold your ground. Something else now stirs within you. Unlike humans, you are not confined to one sex. Many sea anemones can produce both eggs and sperm, though often not at the same time. Your reproductive tissues begin to swell with gametes, preparing you for the cycle of life. Around you, water carries whispers of others releasing their own genetic material. Timing is everything. When conditions are right, you release your contribution into the currents. The sea becomes a vast mixing bowl, where gametes meet and fertilized embryos drift away as larvae. Most will never survive, yet some will find their own rocks and repeat your story. You also notice your orange-striped partner more often now. The clownfish weaves among your tentacles without harm, its skin coated in mucus that protects it from your sting. In exchange, it drives away butterflyfish and other intruders. Its waste even fertilizes your tissues. This alliance is not born of affection, but of survival, yet it feels like companionship all the same. As an adult, you have become a fixture in the reef. You are both predator and protector, host and warrior. Your life is still fragile, but your presence is undeniable. The ocean no longer ignores you. It respects you as one of its peculiar, dangerous, and strangely beautiful residents. The season arrives when the sea is warm, the currents steady, and the moonlight sways the tides. It is time to reproduce again. Unlike animals that court through elaborate dances or battles, your participation is far quieter, yet no less vital. Your tissues prepare gametes, sometimes eggs, sometimes sperm, depending on your biological cycle. You sense chemical signals in the water, a silent communication among your kind. Then, as if on cue, you release your gametes into the currents. The ocean becomes alive with invisible futures, clouds of life drifting through the waves. Fertilization occurs out there, in the openness of the sea. Some species of sea anemones brood their young sheltering larvae within their bodies until they are ready to swim free. In your case, the fertilized embryos are carried by the currents. You do not cradle them or feed them, yet they carry your essence as surely as if you had whispered instructions into their tiny cells. The clownfish, your striped tenant, darts in and out of your tentacles during this time. It chases intruders, nips at small predators, and ensures that you remain undisturbed. Though it does not know it, it is helping secure the survival of your next generation. In return, you continue to offer it sanctuary, your stinging arms forming a fortress no other predator dares cross. You do not hover anxiously like a bird over a nest. Your role ends when the larvae drift into the unknown. Most will perish, swallowed or lost. A few, if fortune smiles, will settle onto a new patch of rock and begin the journey you once did. Parenthood, in your world, is not about nurture, but about the sheer will of survival. The ocean is the parent, and the cycle is the teacher. The years roll like waves. You have grown, fought, endured hunger, partnered with a fish, and sent offspring into the currents. You remain in your place, tethered to the reef, but within that rooted existence lies a remarkable story of survival. Your tentacles still sway, still sting, still feed. The clownfish continues to weave through your arms like a loyal yet mischievous companion. Together, you are a small but significant force in the reef, a partnership written into the script of evolution itself. Yet even you, with your regeneration and patience, cannot escape the cycle. One day, perhaps a starfish will succeed in prying you loose, or a change in water temperature will wither your tissues. It will not be tragedy but transition, for by then you will have released countless larvae into the sea. Each one carries the possibility of becoming another you, anchored in another place, repeating the story. The sun sets over the reef, sending golden rays that shimmer across your tentacles. To passing divers, you may look like a simple flower fixed in stone. They will not see the hidden battles, the silent alliances, or the enduring resilience of your life, but you know it. You have lived it. And as the currents carry away new larvae, you leave behind not a monument, but a living legacy. In the end, you are not just a single sea anemone. You are part of an endless chorus of soft, stinging survivors. The ocean turns the page, and your story continues through another.